Guys, why don't you get Mike Claiborne on and have him talk about his comments regarding Wainwright last night on Channel 5? This year, this one-year deal will go down as the, capitalized, most irresponsible spend of any general manager in the history of baseball.
What did Claiborne say?
I don't know.
Can the texter reiterate?
Jimmy, what'd he say? You file everything, don't you? Jimmy's like, I don't know. I don't know either.
I monitor all of the local affiliates.
What Claiborne
content.
say about Wainwright?
My guess is Waino didn't pitch that well yesterday. And he has yet to hit 87 miles an hour on a fastball, I believe, maybe one time. But the point is people are concerned that if he doesn't have at least a decent fastball to show, then they sit on the curveball and suddenly the curveball's not efficient. Yes, he's 40 years old. But
41.
Everyone has written him off. Thank you. Everyone has already written him off like 3 or 4 times. And I honestly don't think the amount of this contract is going to hamstring the it's a 1-year deal. I don't think it's going to hamstring the Cardinals going forward. And to be honest, he's their 5th starter.
Yeah.
He's their. It's not like they.
What'd Claib say, though? Like, what are we doing here?
They ain't looking at him like a 5th starter. He's getting paid. Which starter makes more money than him? What's he making, 17 with a bunch deferred? I don't think anybody makes more.
Ooh.
Michaelis is right there, about 16-ish. Am I wrong?
Now I'm curious. What'd he say? What'd you say? Why are you so riled up? Why are you so riled up, Plastic Man?
Ooh.
Now you can't just tease us.
By the way, Adam Wainwright is not going to throw 95. We all know that. His fastball probably needs to sit at 89 still to be effective. And this, by the way, kind of gets back to our World Baseball Classic conversation, which I think the World Baseball Classic is cool. And I think that pitchers often, they'll all tell you, they go through a dead arm phase in spring, and they can work through it. You obviously don't want a dead arm in the season. Now, maybe at some point you just can't throw as hard if you get to be pushing 42 years old.
Of course.
I'm not super concerned, but I would say if my pitcher's throwing 86 in a spring, you probably, maybe we dial back game situations, maybe a little rest, little long toss, and now you're throwing him into the WBC. I don't know if that's the best way to get through a dead arm period. And I think that's a fair
training.
It's a fair point to make.
I've said that and I got killed for it.
Not by me.
Hamstring the Cardinals, ? He kept us from signing another starter in Quintana, Mad Marine.
That's the way to look at it. I'm not saying, look, you knew they were going to sign Adam Wainwright. He's a legacy player. But that is the proper way to look at it. The proper way is the allocation of money that could have went somewhere else, potentially for multiple years, like Quintana.
What do you think, Nate? What do you think? Hamstring, is there anything to this? Do you know
This is what really pisses me off.
I don't know. It's spring training. I guess he got lit up a little bit yesterday.
He got a little lit up a little bit?
Well, he'll be fine.
What about your boy Jack? What about your boy Jack?
Jack hasn't pitched.
What about your boy Jack?
Little Jackie boys still on the backfields. They can't get him into a real game. They can't get him into a real game. It's really cute. I guess he's protesting during the afternoon, so he can't really play.
What you did? I just asked him a question about another pitcher, Jimmy. I didn't even do anything.
No, you phrased in a way where you gave him those orange flashlights and waved him into a hot day. Waved him into a hot day.
Cam always does this. He always goats him on, and then he's like,
I just asked a question.
What?
Nate, come on, Nate, give it to me, Nate.
So Flaherty hasn't started his spring training game yet.
Always, and then he's surprised.
Jackie boy.
And then he's surprised.
How strong you want to come at a guy?
Play dumb, Charlie.
I'm sure Jackie Boy will get in there at some point when time allots for him to pitch in a real game.
Yeah.
That's Sunday, right?
Sunday. It was Saturday. They did push it back.
I guess they've only played 5 games.
Yeah, he'll get there.
He's supposed to be the ace, but we'll see when he gets into a real game.
Take his time.
If you
But
ask,
I know the scribes, the keepers of the game, have done a nice job logging his bullpen sessions in simulated games.
Yeah.
While they sit on
done with the media.
What
are they supposed to
What do
do?
they sit on?
Get behind the
It's
plate?
all good.
What do you want, Gouldsy and Jeff Jones to get behind the plate?
I just like asking questions.
Give me the curveball, Jack.
Catch some pens.
I think Gouldsy should catch a pen. I think it'd be cute.
He can.
And they can go.
If you ask me, who do you think, or who would you rather have in your rotation right now?
Right now.
Quintana or Waino? I would take Quintana.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that's not a decent point to make.
It's a great point to make.
But we've already seen how the Cardinals treat legacy players, and it's not like Adam Wainwright didn't have a decent season last year. He did. Didn't end well for him, but he had a pretty solid season, so you know he's coming back. My point is he's in the rotation. He'll be at the end of the – yes, early on he'll be at the front of the rotation because he's Adam Wainwright. But my point is if you're being honest about how the rotation stacks up, which the Cardinals never are, he's kind of an end-of-the-rotation guy now. And I'll be honest with you, I think he has a shot at pitching well this year.
I agree. I'm not a hater, by the way.
No.
I know
but
you're not.
It is difficult. We've talked about this a million times. I'm not trying to compare it to how Kobe Bryant's career ended with the Lakers, but it's very hard to massage winning and allowing the legacy players to have their exit with their standing ovations when, let's be real, for the most part, they're not nearly as good. Now, Waino was damn good last year for 5 months. I don't know if he'll be good this year, but Yachty the last couple years, hey, that wasn't pretty.
No,
and by the way, we all love Yachty, and he's a first ballot or whatever. He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
But to act like the last couple years, as you're trying to let this man with his dignity because he's been a legend kind of go out the right way, that didn't work well. And there's a very good chance it could not work well with Waino. That's all I'm saying.
There's a chance. Winners. And it did work better than anyone could have guessed.
With Pujols.
With Pujols.
Yeah.
Like going into the season.
Agreed.
Until you got to look at Yachty, realizing he wasn't quite in mid-season form when he showed up at camp. He was a little heavier than normal. but when they got the Cardinals, when they got Pujols, I guarantee if you polled it, people would say, Yachty's going to be fine, but Albert won't. And Albert was the best offensive player in baseball in the second half. Sometimes you catch lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
Sometimes. But if you're saying, are the concerns about Waino and Father Time legitimate? Absolutely.
Waino old, Jack injury prone, Matt's injury prone. Great rotation we have stacking up. Wombat. Molina worked very well with the starters. Check out the stats with and without him in the dugout. The Mad Marine, terrible take.
Listen, the Cardinals catching duo the last couple of years, we love them both.
Yes.
God knows we love Kiz. He comes on the show.
Yeah, we love him.
We're talking offensively. They were the worst catching offensive position in baseball. That's just a fact. They super upgraded with Wilson Contreras.
Say Stuckey Brothers.
Is it the Stuckies?
I don't know.
Or the Stoopies?
Well, I was trying to be nice about it.
What is it?
I don't remember.
See, we're not really in disagreement on this at all. I agree with everything you're saying. My thought was, I just don't think this contract is going to hamstring anyone, which is kind of the gist of what the texter was saying. Do you have question marks about Waino at this stage? Absolutely. Is there a chance
spring training?
Love Wainwright, but he's going to get bombed this year, putting them in a tough spot. Jack is waiting for his little rainbow patch to be put on the right shoulder before he'll take the mound, and he'll end up in L.A. or Anaheim or Oakland for it's all said and done with the rest of the Newsom lovers.
Hold on, by the way.
Quiet.
I will guarantee you he does not end up in Oakland. I will bet. I will take my entire bank account right now.
I get you on
and
that.
I don't care the odds. He will not go to the Oakland A's. I will guarantee you that.
Waino
out of the box is Jansen.
Waino fifth starter ? What is our rotation right now, Jim ? What's our rotation right now?
Well, I think we know what the rotation is.
No, let's go 1 through 5, just for fun.
Well, they're gonna probably have Waino throw the opener, right? Because he's Adam Wainwright.
So we're already
Exactly.
we're already kind of doing the ceremonial fun stuff.
Well, didn't we do that last year with Waino? With Albert and Yachty.
Who's the one that said they shouldn't?
You did. I remember that.
Jack, if he's healthy, will be your ace.
You're
Is there a
embarrassed.
question based on health? Absolutely. I asked John Mozeliak at spring training. I said, every team has question marks. You guys have question marks about who's going to click in the outfield, if there's enough offense to replace what Albert did in the second half. But is it fair to say that the number one question is the health of Jack Flaherty? Because if he's not Jack Flaherty, you're going to have to rethink your entire rotation. And he said that's a fair assessment.
So we're going Flaherty 1, again, with a huge question
I
mark.
put Waino 1 if you're going by the rotation as it will
Flaherty
stack
1?
out in the first, right?
You just said he was their 5th starter.
He is, but he's going to get.
You see what I'm talking about?
But
We're already doing this. I know, I'm not mad at you, but
No.
this is going to happen.
yes,
Yep.
because the Cardinals do that.
So are you really trying to win? Like 100%.
Good night, everybody.
Hi. Good night, everybody.
So you would say, based on who he is, if he's healthy, Waino starting opening day is a loss, or you don't have a chance to win it?
Well, here's the deal.
Because your rotation flips over, and it's like a batting order. Like people put, oh my gosh, this guy's got to hit, second, or this guy's going to hit ninth, so we can flip the. I get it. It gives you a different percentage, a chance to win possibly, but a rotation flips over. I'm talking about the importance of guys in the rotation. Flaherty is number one, but he probably won't start opening day. It'll be Waino.
Okay, in past years.
Am I wrong?
Well, I'm going to disagree with you for a second. First of all, we got to see. By the way, I love Waino, but high school guys throw 86. I know he has a great curveball. I know he has a great cutter, but that's not good. Here's my point. In recent years, they almost always start on the road. So you can actually give your true number one opening day on the road and figure out a way to get Waino the home opener. This year is different. I would reward Miles Michaelis because he had a hell of a year, personally.
It'll be Waino starting.
You're probably right.
Because it's Waino. And I agree, 86. If Waino last year, even when he was good and good starts, he's kind of topping out at 88, 89. The key is he's got to be able to spot that. Mm-hmm. And even if it's 88 and he spots it, all he's got to do is keep hitters off balance so they're not sitting on the curveball. But my point is, okay, Waino started, then Jack, right? Then Miles Michaelis.
I put Miles right now ahead of Jack. Jack's got to earn it.
Boom!
You're probably right.
Miles had a hell of a year.
He did.
By the way, Miles about to get an extension. And again, if I was Miles, this is me, I would sign that before I go to WBC.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. If I would want that pen and paper.
Damn right, Charlie.
Dry.
Yeah, but if you're talking about the first week of the season, Miles might start ahead of Jack. I mean, who knows? I don't think it's that important that first week. But you're right. Based on what Miles did, right? And then you're going to have who? More Montgomery and Matz.
But how should it actually be if you really were going on performance? We all know Jack is a question mark. So I'd probably go Michaelis, Montgomery, Jack for upside, Matz Waino. Is that fair?
Yeah, but let's see. I mean, has Jack pitched yet in a game, Nate?
I don't think he's quite made it into a game. It's not convenient.
Haven't made it yet.
It's not convenient.
He dominated the backfields the other day.
Let's see.
He was great in the backfield.
Really sharp.
Let's see how he does before we
snap on that.
He's into it. He's into it. Yeah.
At present, the way I was stacking it was based on importance. Like, Jack Flaherty is your most important starting pitcher, and I don't really think there's a lot of question about it.
He has a lower body injury, actually. He's butt hurt. He's been dealing with it for, I think, 6 or 7 years.
Lower body discomfort.
Man.
You're right.
Randy, what's up?
Hey, how you guys doing there? Entertaining show as usual.
Thank you.
Hey, let me ask the Charlie Marlowe there on the Dazes. Is he the junior Dazes member or is he the senior one? Which Daze? Is he a junior Dazes member?
Senior member.
I'm the second oldest guy on the show, right?
He's a senior member.
Oh, okay. Well, he's a senior associate. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you a question there. Do the Cardinals really believe the team they have now can really go to the World Series, do anything in the playoffs? I don't think I think they put a big bravado or whatever you call it. I don't think the Cardinals even brain trust
bravado.
Bravado. There we go. That's a totally other way of saying bravado, right?
Yeah.
You're right. Yes.
And,
yep.
Yeah, but I want to know. I just look from looking on the outside. Charlie Marlowe, this team is not competitive with Atlanta, LA. Even though LA has a lot of injuries, I don't think this team even knows what it's capable of doing. Do you agree with that or not? As a senior associate member of the day?
As a senior associate, I agree with your point. I think the Cardinals will be good, 90-plus wins. I don't think they'd probably be favored against a lot of the teams in the playoffs that you mentioned right now. I think that's fair.
Right. Okay, now let me ask you a question there. If the Cardinals have a weakness, are they going to wait till the trade deadline to pick up a third straight, not a Jose Quintana, but are they going to go to, like, say, San Diego or some Oakland team and say, hey, we'll take your fourth starter and we'll give you some, I don't know, international picks or whatever they use to swipe these, from these teams that are not competitive. You think they're going to make that kind of move again?
100%. If there's an injury early on, they're going to allow Dakota Hudson, Jake Woodford, whoever else to get them to the trade deadline and probably do the same thing they've done the last couple of years. I would think.
Right.
I agree with you.
Okay. So that means otherwise, in other words, whatever the Cardinals saw, the hoopla with the catcher they signed Contreras or whatever his name is, his brother.
Bravado.
I don't know.
Bravado Contreras.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great
there we
guy.
go. Bravado, that's a good nickname. Bravado Contreras, that's a good nickname. Anyway, whatever they moves they made, I think it's going to be counteracted by not doing anything. And they're, like you said, they're going to wait for a pitcher getting injured, go to the waiver
wire.
Yeah, whatever that pile of nobodies, and just pick up somebody and say, yeah, this guy, we can convert him into a 20-game winner. Or
They should call it the waiver pile.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, and they don't have a guy like Dave Dunk anymore, pitching coach. They can transfer some guy, no name, to a 10-game winner or whatever.
Yeah.
And this Dusty Springfield, the guy they just signed.
What's he doing?
Oh, I like it. Come on.
Yeah, Dusty Springfield.
You're drowning him out. All right, Randy, we got to
thanks,
go.
Randy.
Thanks, Randy.
Thank you, Randy.
Wow, Seth.
No, that was Nate.
Hey, how hard do you have to come in on the guy?
Pretty hard.
It was time.
It's 5 times
It
a
was
week,
time.
and I don't know why we do it 5
It was
times
time.
a week.
I thought
but
that
it
was a
time.
good one, though.
It was time.
That's fine.
Springfield.
Our boy Jordan Walker leading off today, the Clumpster.
Listen,
Probably for ABs.
if you recall at the trade deadline, I was like, I don't think they got enough. When they picked up Montgomery and Quintana, I was like, I don't think they got enough, and they surprised us with that. It can be done when you enhance your pitching staff, but I do think if Matz isn't back from his injury, or Waino gets hurt, or Jack isn't Jack, they're probably going to have to do something ahead of the trade deadline.
Well, here's the good part. The good thing is it's early, but so far, Waino's throwing 86, and Jack hasn't pitched yet in the game. Other than that,
He will Sunday.
I know. I do think this is the number one concern before this is the starting rotation.
played a
But this
single
always happens, by the way. Like, usually you have one catastrophic injury in spring.
Yeah, it usually happens a little later.
It's funny, man.
Like, how many games have they played? Like
just knew
5
you
or
were
whatever? 4.
Started Saturday.
So usually they hit double digits, then someone goes down for a month.
Well, last year,
I broke my back.
I know last year was lockout related. Last year, Flaherty and Reyes were done on day one.
Yeah.
On day one, essentially, of spring training.
What
We're
happened
done.
to Reyes again? Yeah, he went through so much crap. That dude was so pumped up. He was talked about for, I remember his first time. I was working at ESPN, Randy and Fastlane. And I remember them talking about this kid, and they were pumping him up for, he's the next. And I remember going out there, and he threw some heat. The whole place went crazy. And then he got hurt. Then he got hurt. Then he got hurt.
Stuff
Then he
was,
got hurt.
first
Then
of
he got
all,
hurt.
his daughter had cancer. He's a great story. He's been through a lot.
Yep.
But his stuff was, legitimate. He had the whole repertoire, and he could throw 99 miles an hour. It looked like he was playing soft toss. And I remember the first time they gave him, a big moment, it was at Wrigley against the Cubs. And he came in, and you're like, he's the real deal.
Yeah.
Then, boom, he's hurt.
Yep.
And he's hurt again, hurt again, hurt again.
Yep.
Then he was hurt in Milwaukee, and he kept pitching. I was at that game. By the way, I bet you he's a monster for the Dodgers. I bet
really?
you he's just a monster reliever.
Good.
I would bet on him.
Is he a good guy?
Great guy.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Nice kid.
Laundry list of injuries. Laundry.
Why does the cat always have to F things up? Charlie is asking a simple question. What is the projected lineup, 1 through 5 rotation? Who cares about who is starting the home opener? Jack Bass. I think he went through it.
Well, actually, that's kind of what you were looking for.
Well,
I think we're.
this is where I agree with Kat, because the Cardinals do ceremonial things maybe more than any other organization.
Yeah.
So, who was that from?
That was from Jack Bass.
Jack. Maybe just listen.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe just listen. Because there are two things. All right, lay out your rotation. Well, we're starting opening day. We don't know yet, but my guess is it's going to be Waino since it's going to be at home.
He's a Putin puppet.
Oh,
Who is a Putin?
who is?
Me or Waino?
Let's get him.
Or Waino?
Jay
Let's
Bass.
get him. Oh, he is? Yeah.
I don't think so.
Randy had some extra whiskey in his coffee this morning. The all-knowing expert, I know. Unbelievable. What's your over-under on how many starters we trade for this year? 1.5 or 2.5? Flip or bean?
Oh, it's definitely, I think 1.5 is the right number.
Really?
Don't you think? I mean, they've traded for 2 the last, 2 years ago, they really kind of traded for 3 if you include Wade LeBlanc.
Wade LeBlanc.
I don't know if that was a trade or a pickup.
I think he just appeared.
I can't remember how they acquired him.
Wade, he just appeared in the dugout, and they gave him the uniform.
He was just there. Hey, are you over 40?
Yeah.
Okay, you're on the team.
Wade LeBlanc. The Wambats, like manager Ali Marmol said, right-handed pitcher Jack Flaherty's first spring training start will now come on Sunday instead of Saturday. Lower half discomfort
we said all that.
is the reason for the delay and isn't considered serious, Marmol said. Somebody chimes in and goes, getting him back after the All-Star game will be like making a trade. The all-going thought process with him by the Cardinals fans. What is it called when you are doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results? ?
Insanity.
So anytime a manager or someone in the front office in baseball says it's not considered serious, that means nothing, right? I mean, I will say that because, and a lot of times they just don't want to show their cards.